Okay, George Groves here at Fitzpatrick's Gym in Swindon with the Swindon Advertiser. I'm going to throw a few quick fire questions at you if that's alright. So we'll start with how and when did you get into boxing?
I started boxing when I was 10 years old. I always wanted to box since I was like 6. I was a little bit too young then, so at the age of 10 my dad took me down, which was my local gym, Dale Youth, and fell in love with boxing there and then, and I ain't looked back since. Why
is it you love boxing? You know, where does that connection come from, do you think?
It's something I've always been good at, you know, took to it straight away. Everything about it I liked, you know, the structure, the discipline, the test, the hard work. Also, you make a lot of friends, and you know, although you punch each other in the face, you know, it's a nice place to be. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I love it.
At this stage in your career, which would you say is the most memorable of your fights?
Right now, since I boxed 2 weeks ago, that's probably the most memorable one. It was a huge build up to that fight, my first world title fight. Although I didn't get the win that I wanted, I boxed really well. Lots of people think that I was denied the opportunity of becoming world champion. So yeah, it's one of my saddest moments in boxing, but also some of my favourite moments.
And on a bit of a less serious note, what's your pre-fight meal?
Pre-fight meal, well, it's the same as what I eat in camp really. You don't want to change the diet too much.
Yeah.
So there'll be loads of porridge, boring that is, brown rice, yeah, protein, which will be fish or chicken, loads of veg. I like pomegranates, so I eat like pomegranates as well. So yeah, that's pretty much, it's the same as what I eat week in, week out.
Okay.
I just get treble portions.
Any superstitions?
Yeah, loads, hundreds.
Too many to kill us.
Very superstitious, yeah. I've got a lucky arm. It's loads of tattoos. They're a bit cheesy. Bit of fun really, but yeah. So my jabbing arm. Hopefully it looks good enough.
And in your opinion, what's been the best boxing rivalry of all time? Would you say?
In Britain, the best rivalry is probably Ben Eubank.
Oh yeah.
That's still standing the test of time. Turns out I've got a few rivals now, and I'm sitting there ready to maybe one day people talk about my rivalries, but I think before my time obviously, but Ali Frazier was a bit of bad blood.
Of course, yeah.
Even seeing the recent documentaries of Frazier, and he's still grieving about the way he was treated. So there's one hell of a rivalry between two amazing fighters.
And going forward now in your career, I mean, you're not going to be short of good offers now going forward. Which boxing venue do you think you'd most like to fight in, anywhere in the world?
Well, you know, there's talk of my next fight being in a football stadium, so Wembley Arena would be lovely. Stamford Bridge would be great for me, as a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Historical venues would be like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
The outside at Caesar's Palace, which they don't have boxing anymore, but if they brought it back, that would be, I would imagine, a special place to box. But my fondest memories are the O2 Arena and the MEN Arena.
And at the fights you've done thus far, can you remember what the best shot was that you threw? And at the time thinking, you know, that was pretty impressive.
I boxed down in California last year, and I stopped a fella called Francisco Sierra. He's a very good fighter. He's a big guy, hits hard, and he's got a great chin. And I dropped him with sort of a right hand, left hook. It took 4 big shots to put him over, but they were some sweet shots. I've landed a few in the past. Dropped international superstar Carl Froch recently. Noé Gonzalez, I put to sleep this year. It was a good shot. Shot landed on Paul Swift was pretty good.
There's a fair few good shots then you've thrown.
I've had a few good shots, yeah.
Who's your favourite boxer, if that's not too much of an obvious question?
Of all time, my favourite to watch was Jerome McLennan.
Okay.
I love the way he threw a right hand. I'm in Mickey's style in that respect. I think he had unexplained punch power, and that's a great thing.
What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't a professional boxer?
I don't know really. I can't see my dance. I'd like to think that I'll be entertaining people with some form, but I'll have to find another talent. I don't know if I've got any more.
Who would you like to have fought, past or present?
Again, I'd like to have been in the middleweight division when it was really, really at its peak. Actually, we had love to have been in the mix with Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, Steve Collins, Michael Watson, because they were great fighters, and I'd like to have tested myself against those guys.
Yeah.
And obviously around that same time, you still had James Tony, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones, Joel McClellan. These are guys that I'd love to have boxed, and that would have been the perfect sort of era for me to be in.
Yeah. And finally, who do you think's the greatest boxer of all time?
Well, I haven't seen too much footage because it's hard to come by, but from what a lot of people say, it would have to be Sugar Ray Robinson, and the bits I've seen, he was a fantastically talented man. To just have the amount of fights that he had is mind-boggling now in this day and age. That he'd go on tour and box week in, week out at the highest level. Fight for a world title, and then 3 weeks later be fighting in an 8 round or somewhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was a hard man, skillful man, and something that every boxer could learn from him. So any bit of rare footage you find on YouTube or wherever else is priceless.
Okay. Cheers, George. Thank you.